Hey guys, this is just a planner journal video. I don't do a whole lot of these, so just bear with me. I haven't done anything in my conquest journal. Let me look back since probably February. So there's a lot of blank pages in here. So I thought I would just do something today because the main journal I've been using is Lockerbie. I really like it. Not to say that I like it more than my Conquest journal, but it's a different type of journal. It's got a lot of pockets, and it's made of this canvas material, and it's considered an everyday carry type of journal, and I can keep cards in it, a little ruler, my passport, all kinds of stuff, post-it notes, papers that I need to hang on to, put clips in it, keep lists. This is the layout that I did yesterday for this coming week. And then they also have weekly spreads, and they have planners, they have dot grid, they have plain, and I just have one of each in here. Use it for lots of different things, testing out ink colors, highlighters. Here's all my Harry Potter notes as far as when I was doing themed layouts. I did a lot of research on that. Have all that still in here. And it also is made out of the Tomy River paper, and it is really good for drawing and not having a lot of bleed through. Like this is the what do you call those, brush pens, and so I like to doodle, and I've done quite a bit of that in this notebook. I do a lot of these things at work. Kind of helps take my mind off the grind of my job, because I may have mentioned this before. I do work in healthcare, and it can get pretty bad sometimes. Very stressful. So I find myself sitting somewhere alone and doodling, and I've also taken to liking the black paper, and I've been messing around with that a little bit, not a whole lot, just trying to get used to it. I do have some gel pens now that write on this black paper. It looks really nice, and just kind of been doing some things with that. But overall, I carry this one with me every day, just because it's just suitable for that, because I can carry more stuff in it than my Conquest journal, because even though the journal is has the monthly and the weekly layouts, sometimes you need some pockets. Sometimes you need a little bit more for just the everyday stuff. I really like Conquest journals because they're fun, and I have collected all of them. I have all of the school individual houses. I do have the Celestial Journal, the Chibi Journal, the very first one that came out in 2019. So I have all of them, except for the one that's about to come out that's on pre-order. I don't have that one. I don't know if I will get that one, considering it's just like this, except everything's undated, because I don't think I want one that looks exactly like one I already have, and considering that that's not going to be the only journal for this coming year, that she is going to be coming out with a journal, another one. The one with the discs does not replace what's going to be coming out for 2022. So I think I'm just going to hang on and wait and see, and probably get that one. But I still have stickers. Usually when I get these, I just go ahead and just take them out of the back and just trim off the edge. It just makes it so much easier to grab them all out when I need them and just flip through and say, oh, what do I want to put in my planner today? So yeah, so that's what I do. I just keep them handy just like that in my little trolley over here beside of my little workspace. I recently ordered from the washi tape store or shop. I'm not sure exactly which way you want to say it. But these are some very beautiful washi tape. I really like them. They were about $25 for this set, and you don't really get much on them, but you do get a lot of them. It's 20 rolls, so you know, unless you're going to washi tape something to death, you'll have it for a while. Okay, so as I usually like to do, I like to just usually take a highlighter and just highlight the whole page, and then I usually section it off with my washi tape and then decorate with a sticker or some other type of cardstock. And I'll use mild liners, and then I also use the Sharpie S-Notes. They come in a lot of colors. Just like them. Picked them up one day at Target. So I think I was going to kind of go for a Luna theme. So I think I'm just going to pick something pink and just kind of get started here. I know I've seen Shelly do hers, and she likes to go like in the middle. I always like filling in the boxes. I mean, you can do it any way you want to, whatever makes you happy. But this is just usually what I do. I just go through here and just fill these in. That's my little bird Bonnie in the background. Usually she's kind of quiet. It's hell on wheels when she gets going. Usually try to keep the TV turned off because some reason that sets her off. I don't know what it is about the television. Even the volume could be turned down really low. I mean, we're just basically watching a television, reading lips. She just goes nuts. It's almost like she just really enjoys the quiet. And it makes it hard to have people over and have a relaxing evening. I've been worried about doing this video and having the cat want to jump up here, but luckily right now they're in nap mode because it's pretty warm out, and even though we got the AC going, it's still pretty warm in here. I don't know why. We got all the blinds closed off and trying to keep it kind of cool and dark in the house. I live in South Carolina, and they are calling for 90, mid-90 degree weather every day next week. That is going to be horrible because we're going from nice temperatures that's in the 70s. Walk outside, there's a nice breeze, you know, it gives you that feeling of, oh, I wish I was on vacation, wish I was somewhere else. And then boom, blazing hot temperatures. But supposedly it's only supposed to last a little while because they say it's a warm front that's through the area. So hopefully after this coming week, maybe the weekend, it'll be nice. Do you guys have a favorite journal from Conquest? I know sometimes I read on the posts, a lot of you like Supernatural and you really want her to do another Supernatural journal. Of course, I think she said she wasn't going to. And then I read someone's comment about getting the rights to do a Star Wars journal, which would be very interesting to see that. My question is, what would you like to see as far as the theme of that journal? Would you like it to be a certain movie? Would you like it to be certain characters? Would you like it to be like the original 3? Or would you like it to just be character based, like Han and Leia, or the prequel that they made about Han Solo and how he met Chewbacca? You know, what kind of layouts would you like to see in that? Because I personally have never seen a Star Wars journal that's made like the Conquest journals. I've seen stuff from Disney that would be just like the outside of the journal has, you know, a character on it. Has like, it's blue and it's themed to be like R2-D2, or it's black and it has Darth Vader on it. Or it's a light color and it's meant to kind of represent Princess Leia. But I've never seen one like this, you know, not unless it's something that, you know, it's only at the Disney parks and it's not at shopdisney.com, because even though Shop Disney does sell a lot of stuff, they do not sell everything that you can get at the park. It's kind of like going to Universal Studios. You can go there and buy things that will never be sold online. And the only way you could find them later is if somebody decided to part with it and put it up for sale on, say, eBay or Mercari or Poshmark or one of those sites. I know when we go to Universal, it's usually in December. It's the coolest part of the year because we just don't tolerate heat well. Even though we're from the South, you never get used to it. You just never get used to it. And plus it's Christmas time. So they have the Grinchmas show that you can watch. Everything is decorated for Christmas, which is very nice, including the Wizarding World. They didn't used to do that. We've been going there since the grand opening. Me and my mom were there grand opening day. And when we got checked into our hotel, we stayed at the Royal Pacific. And because we stayed on site, we were given tickets to go in for a couple of hours the evening before grand opening day. And so we were able to go into the shops and look around and take pictures before the next day, which was absolutely horrible. It was 90 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning, and Universal Studios did not think this through very well. The lines wrapped all the way through the park and out the park and all the way across City Walk. And of course they admitted that they had no idea that this many people would show up. And there were people who were there from other countries. And who had to be comped for their tickets because they couldn't get in. And my sister and brother-in-law, we were all trying to get together to enjoy this, and we didn't catch up to them for like the third day. And they were comped their tickets to be able to get back in. And then we finally all got to get together and walk into the Wizarding World, where the entrance is, where the train is. And my sister was very overjoyed. And of course, me and my mom were also, because this was like, a dream come true for us, because, we've read the books. And, even though the books in your mind can take you places and give you images and you can see things, just actually having the Wizarding World to walk through and seeing all the magical stuff, really, really made it a wonderful experience for us. And we've just went back every year. After the grand opening, though, since that was held in June, and we felt like we were going to have somebody carry us out of the park because we felt like we was going to have heat stroke, we decided after that we would not go during the summer. And unfortunately, that tends to be when they have their grand openings for any kind of ride or addition that they've added to the park. When they opened Gringotts, that was in June. When they opened the Hagrid ride, that was in the summertime. And there's no way that I'm going to stand in a line for 2+ hours to ride a ride that I could wait 6 months and still may have to wait in line just that long. But at least the weather's more tolerable. And there's times that we've been there that it has actually been cold. It's like a cold front would come through, and we have our zip-up jackets on and toboggans on and gloves on, and we're like, we're in Florida. It feels like wintertime, like where we live. But it was still fun. No matter what the weather is, you just kind of have to roll with it. Whether it's raining, whether it's the wind's blowing, it gets cold, it's really crowded. You really try to have to think about it in a way of, I'm here to enjoy myself. Yes, there are a whole bunch of other people here, but what am I going to do? I can't make these other people leave. And people will be rude. They will be pushy. You have teenagers that are running around, and they're going to run right past you and bump into you. And people with buggies with their little small children are going to bump into you. And, how mad are you going to get over that? Most people apologize. They don't realize that they've done it. Some people do it and don't care. They just want to get past you. They're on their way to get to that ride, to that restaurant, to wherever they're going in the park. And it can be difficult at times, but you just kind of have to remind yourself, I'm here with family. I'm here to have a good time. And, you're going to be able to look back on your videos and your pictures, at the end of the day. At least that's what I do. At the end of the day, and think, oh, this was great. This is wonderful. And especially when you try a ride that you've never been on before, like we did the Bilge ride. It has Pluto. Not Pluto. I'm thinking of Disney. Excuse me. That is the water ride that's in the part of the park that has to do with Popeye and I can't even say his name. I'm sure you guys know. But it is a great ride. You will get wet. I promise you, you will get wet. But it's worth it. And you're laughing, and the people beside of you are laughing, and it's just a great time. And when you're with a group of people like that, and they're laughing, you're laughing, everybody's having a good time, you just kind of forget about what might have aggravated you or upset you earlier, or whatever it was that you couldn't find or couldn't ride, or it just kind of makes up for it. So let's see here. This is very pretty. It's got cranes on it, in green. And I've been watching quite a few videos. I've been trying to, I always was about being real perfect about my washi tape. And I see a lot of videos now where it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like the edges can just be what they are. And so you don't have to worry about scissors and, cutting things out a certain way, or worry about your edges showing. It's just, it is what it is. And sometimes it turns out very nicely. It looks pretty. Just get that little splash of color, and just, I like it. I like it because I used to take these pages and I would just fill them up line. You wouldn't even see this. You wouldn't see any of this. And just completely fill it up. But kind of learn to do things a little different. Because I have a ton of washi tape, and I was going through it like crazy, and I'm just like, maybe I need to figure out a different way of doing all this stuff. I don't know if any of you guys are Disney fans. That is one place I will not go. I have been, and I've been to the Magic Kingdom, and I've been to, I think they call it Planet Hollywood, or Hollywood Studios. I think it's Hollywood Studios. I did enjoy Hollywood Studios because we went when they had a Star Wars weekend. I'm not even sure if they do those anymore, because we went in 2015 and went for 3 days, and we ran around that park, because I got off of work at 5 o'clock on Friday and went by and picked up my mom, and we drove all night to get there. And believe me, we were tired. So by the time we got there and got checked in, it was well after midnight, and we wanted to be able to be at the, there at opening, because they open early. If you stay there, you can just go ahead and get in. And oh my goodness, I think we were running on about 4 hours of sleep that day, but we watched the performances and rode rides. And no, this is before they built the new park, obviously. But yeah, we had a great time. I would say I enjoy Hollywood Studios way better than any other part of Disney. I've never been to Epcot. I think that would be kind of cool. And I also think that going to Animal Kingdom would be really cool. But I am done with the Magic Kingdom. I really feel like for that park, it's geared more towards little children. And I just don't do well with small kids. When they start screaming and crying, I've just never been able to handle that very well. I don't know if it's a sensory issue, but it just kind of sets my teeth on edge. And it's not that I don't like kids, it's just that kind of behavior, I guess, and the sound. And I mean, I know they're going to cry, and I know they're going to be upset, and I know they can't help it, because they're hungry and they're tired and they want to rest and they want to get something to eat, and they don't want to be drug around anymore, and they want to rest just as much as we do. They want to sit down, get something to drink, get something to eat. But I just can't handle that. So, not like I said, I like kids, because I feel like I'm a kid myself, because I like to do things. I mean, look at what I'm doing. I'm coloring a planner and decorating it, and I have adult coloring books and pencils, and and if there's children around and they're in the floor and they're playing or they're coloring or they're doing stuff like that, and even though there's other adults around, I would rather sit with them on the floor and say, hey, what you doing? What are you playing? What are you doing? And just sit there and color. And just kind of just enjoy the moment. Okay, almost done here. I know this has been a really long video, and I've just been blabbing along. But I kind of feel like doing this thing, kind of having everything kind of having a mashup. It's kind of like, it reminds me of Luna. I think Luna would be this way. All different colors, different themes, different things kind of stuck together. That kind of reminds me of her. That's what she would do. Just whatever she liked that was pretty, that was colorful. Like in the book, in her bedroom, she painted on her ceiling a picture of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. And because they were people that she thought a lot of and felt very close to and were her friends. And I thought that was a very awesome part of the story, that when she was laying in her bed, she could always look up at them and see them there. And how she was considered them, part of a really important part of her life. And unfortunately, I do not have a Luna sticker besides this one. Alrighty, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry if I went on and on too long. I hope to do another one of these again, maybe next weekend. No promises. Like I said, I work in healthcare. It drives me nuts. I do what I can to get by day to day, to keep myself going, to tell myself, that I'm not here for me. I'm here to take care of other people. Because it's just not living in the middle of COVID that is a total concern. There are people out there that have ongoing health problems, that they need to see their doctors, they need to get refills of their medications, they need to have screenings, they need to have tests. People who are diabetic, people who have cancer, people who have thyroid issues, cholesterol problems, blood pressure. They still need to be taken care of too. And I had to remind myself that every day, that I'm just not showing up to collect a paycheck, that I'm actually here to help someone. And journaling, whether I do something like this or whether I have my other journals that I just play around with, like my little mini journal, which is just so cute. Actually found this at Books A Million with the journals, and they also did have some up by the register in a little box. Books A Million is one of these weird places that everything's scattered all over the store, and you have to go everywhere in the store so you make sure that what you're looking for is not there, because it could be. You just haven't went far enough into the store or down a certain aisle to find it. And this is one that I worked on. Got these little guys through Amazon. Comes in a big pack, and just decorated the front covers with cardstock. Anything that's colorful makes me feel good. Kitty cats. I know Shelly likes kitty cats. Her crazy kitty cat Spike, who wants to try to climb the windows. And Meow at the back door when she's sitting right there in the living room. That's hilarious. All right, well, thanks. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gives you some ideas. I've done, lots of other things before, like this was January. This was the layout for the next week. Sometimes I just don't get to it, and then here we are. Here's something else, and Flourish and Blots. This is actually an ice cream cone cover that I saved from going to the Wizarding World once. And then all these months go by, and then here we are. So thank you for spending time with me today, and hopefully I'll see you guys again.